Good morning, YouTube. Happy Sunday. You know what today is? It's time for this week's episode of Grab or Gross. I'm super excited about it. If you can't tell, the hand gestures and everything, I am a little excited about this week's card, and I hope that it doesn't take me 4 gosh darn caches or reserve things or whatever the hell we're calling them now, keys to the cards or whatever the hell they are. I have 2 working my way towards the 3rd one, and I would love to hit this week's card on the very first one because I don't care about the variants this week, even though you probably will, because there's some cards you might not have, and one of them is one of the best cards in the game. So rather than me sitting here blibber blabbering on about it, let's get into the cards this week for the Spotlight Reserve keys and my first deck for this week's new card in Marvel Snap. All right, first up we have Mirage. If you're not familiar with Mirage, on reveal, copy the lowest cost card in your opponent's hand into your hand. Give it +2 power. Mirage is a decent card. It doesn't see a lot of play right now, but it is a decent card. Yeah, she's a Series 4 rare. She should definitely be Series 3. The variant. Okay, if you don't have Mirage, I suggest grossing out, not caring about this card, because it should be a Series 3 eventually. You can pick it up for 1,000 tokens, and it's not worth spending Spotlight key on. However, the variant is pretty tough. On the scooter, I really like it a lot. Probably as far as her variants go, it's probably my favorite. So if I was to open this, say like in the first key, I wouldn't necessarily be angry because I do use her in a deck actually that I'm getting ready to show you the next card in. So I mean, I wouldn't be upset. So as far as the variant goes, it's grab. It's a dope variant. But as far as the card goes, if you don't have it, just gross the heck out on Mirage. All right, next up, we have one of the most controversial and powerful Series 5 cards in the game. It's probably going to be Series 5 for a while. Loki. Not only was the show season 2 of the show amazing, but this card's pretty good and consistent. On reveal, replace your hand with cards from your opponent's starting deck. Give them -1 cost. Yeah, this card plays your opponent's deck better than they can play it. Now, as far as variants go, it's low down on the totem pole for me. I prefer this one. I prefer this one. I prefer this one, pretty much all of them except for the pixel. As far as the variant goes, gross. But if you do not have Loki, it is a 100 billion% grab. You need this card in your collection because it is really, really good and consistent. Tier 1 deck right now, probably arguably the strongest deck in the game is Loki deck. You can throw Mirage in there, you know, the card I just showed you. There's so many decent builds for Loki right now, and with Mobius getting the nerf bat, even though they brought him back to ongoing, he's still 3 cost. A lot of people aren't wasting the 3-drop on Mobius right now. Yeah, so you need to grab this card, Loki, if you don't have him. But as far as the variant goes, bleh, not a fan. All right, now you also have a chance at the tokens or a Series 4 or 5 card that you don't have. You know, but then there's the new card. And this thing looks like Superman. The Marvel Universe's version of Superman with a mohawk. I dig the hair. I dig this card art. For a regular card, I really like it. As far as variants goes, you know, I gotta have the Dan Hip. This one's cool. This ink pulp. The Realm of Kings is cool. This the Spotlight one that we get. Wait, this says Spot. Oh no, that's the. I'm a dummy. That's this week's. If you happen to open or buy Gladiator and you want to go for his variant, that's it. And then there's just regular one right here. But yeah, the card on reveal, add a card from your opponent's deck to their side of this location. If it has less power, destroy it. So you will pull a card from their deck onto their side. If it has less than 7 power, you destroy it. That's pretty good on turn 3. And there's ways to make this even better. My first attempt at a Gladiator deck, I will show you in 1 second. I'm super excited about this card. I know a lot of people are kind of whatever on it. They don't care. But I'm a fan. I like destroy decks. I like cards that disrupt things. So I'm going to be trying several different decks this week. So make sure to stay tuned to the YouTube for those builds. But the very first one I'm going to be trying, I'll show you right now. Right here, American Gladiator. American Gladiator. Let's go over the list. Forge. Instantly, you can see why this would be good. Yeah, you would not be able to play, you know, Gladiator till turn 4, but he'd be a 9 power then. You have Electro, who can help you get cards out quicker. You have Magic, who allows things to take place an extra turn. You have Negasonic Teenage Warhead, destroys a card if your opponent plays it in the lane. We have Silver Surfer. You'll see why, because we have Venom that can destroy your Electro or whatever to clear up a lane space, but preferably a lane that has Electro in it. And it's another 3-cost card that can get buffed by Silver Surfer. We have Wave that can help you get out like Null early or something. We have Wong, which is really good. We have Shang-Chi. We have Null and an America Chavez to help you draw all the cards that you need. And of course, Gladiator will be in here. Now, this is just me quickly sitting down and throwing a deck together and thinking of ideas. You know, just think. Wong could destroy 2 cards with Gladiator. Say you play Wong on turn 3, right? And then on turn 4, you play Forge into, or well, you play Wong on turn 4. You wouldn't, the only way you'd be able to play anything else is if, you know, you got rid of your Electro somehow. So you'd be looking at turn 4 Wong. Turn 5, you could go Forge on Wong into Gladiator. What's that mean? That means your Gladiator is going to get +4 and it's going to pull 2 cards to that side. So you're looking at a 3/11 Gladiator that's going to pull 2 cards from their deck, right? And destroy them. That's only going to feed Null. Okay? Now you do have to be fearful, of course, of their Shang-Chi if they're playing it, because, you know, Shang-Chi did get moved to 10 or more power, but you also have Silver Surfer that can buff some of your other cards that are still out in play, like Teenage Warhead, Magic, Venom, Wave, if, you know, whatever's still in play that you have 3 costs. So yeah, I don't know. This is just me quickly throwing a deck together. I would love to hear some of the deck ideas that y'all have out there in YouTube land. So if you have a deck idea, please let me know in the comment section below. There's other things that we can do with Gladiator as well. Other cards that might play into it well, like Arnim Zola. You know, you could play a negative deck. The only problem with playing a negative deck versus a Ravonna Renslayer. Ongoing, your cards with 1 or less power cost 1 less. Now let's just take a look at what we could do with Ravonna, right? So you start with Ravonna. Your other usual suspects in this deck. So you're looking at things like Ironheart. You're looking at things like Mystique. You could argue Wolfsbane. In this deck, you're probably gonna want to run Magic. What else could we run in this deck? Mr. Negative is not really a good call in this one because of Gladiator being a 3/7. You really don't want to run him in there. You could make an argument for Jubilee. Of course, you're going to want to run Iron Man. You're going to want to run Arnim Zola and Null. I mean, you could run Shuri, right? She would be helpful, and she would only cost 3. So you're looking at something like this. I don't know what we would call this list right offhand, but you'd have Nebula. You could play on turn 1. Ravonna, like again, I said, your cards with 1 or less power cost 1 less. So that makes Ironheart cost 2. It makes Mystique cost 2. Wolfsbane 2. Magic gives you an extra turn. Shuri's going to cost you 3. Iron Man will cost you 4. Taskmaster will cost you 4. Arnim Zola will cost you 5. Null will cost you 5. And then you have Gladiator, the 3/7 in this deck. You know, it's interesting, right? Like, because you could copy Iron Man with Mystique. You can copy Null with Mystique. It's just, I mean, you can Arnim Zola your Gladiator. You know, I don't know. I'm trying to think of things you could do. You could Shuri and Gladiator there, and then once you've Shuri your Gladiator, you can Taskmaster to copy its power, which would be 14. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of just different fun decks to play. You could also make an argument for like Green Goblin in this deck. You know, if you didn't want to run Wolfsbane, just to put some negativity on their side of the board. There's lots of things you're going to be able to do, and I'm hoping that people get inventive with this card because I think it has potential to be a lot of fun to play. But the problem is people are afraid to have fun in this game sometimes. Am I right? It's like a new card comes out and they're like, oh, what can I run to make that card bad? Because I know people are going to want to run that card and be fun. So I'm going to run the opposite just to be an asshole. You run into those people all the time, and it really sucks because I think part of this game, it's people make this game too sweaty. It is a card collecting game that, yeah, it has some competitiveness to it, but everybody tries to turn every damn thing into an esport, and it doesn't have to be. Just play it, get the new cards, try to be inventive, and have some fun for once in a while, and you might actually find you like video games again, and you won't be such a sweaty dickhead. Buck's tip of the day on a Sunday. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a big old fat thumbs up for me. If you're not subscribed to the channel, click that subscribe button. It's free. If you have any comments about video, ideas for this Gladiator card, your thoughts on this week's Spotlight key cards, or any kind of videos you would like to see on this YouTube channel, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below, or just say hi. Anything helps the video get to be seen more if you like it and leave comments. I know I say that all the time, but it's true. And until next time, you can catch me right here, same Buck time, same Buck channel.